Good evening, ladies and gents. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone is blessed. I'm gonna try and do a quick video for you guys. And basically, what I want to talk about today is the importance of having a system when doing Forex trading. Keep in mind, this is not necessarily investment advice or trading advice. This is just free information, free knowledge. Do with it what you must, what you see fit, and this will benefit some of you. This will not benefit most people, but if you are serious about your goals in the forex market, you will take some of this information, you'll go and test it, and you will go and do more research for yourself. So I'm going to try and break it down into three separate points, right? I'm just going to try and pretty much pack as much information into it without overwhelming you guys too much. So this is basically information for some of the beginner traders, some of the intermediate traders, and I bet some of the people who've been trading for a few years, who might think they know how to trade. I think some of this information might be useful for you as well. Keep in mind, guys, in this industry, always learning. It's important to learn from each other. It's important to listen to those who have the experience, and not to have an attitude, and keep in mind, this is free. I'm doing this completely for free. I haven't even done a video for the premium channel yet, and I'm producing some of this stuff for free for you guys. So for the premium channel, I will be going into more depth into some of these things, but for now I'm gonna give us as much free information as I can, and hopefully this is useful for you guys. So basically, the importance of having a system, the importance of building a system. Now, here's the thing, guys, in Forex. A lot of people come in Forex and they think it's just going to be a one shot, one kill kind of deal. They think they're going to press buy or they're going to press sell and they're going to be rich. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, guys. Basically, in the Forex market, guys, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of back testing, it's a lot of testing in general, and it's a lot of calculations, and basically a lot of knowledge that's coming together all at the same time, to produce an expected result, right? So basically, the first thing I want to cover is, I'm gonna make an example basically on what it means to have a system. And one of the things I'm going to touch on is top down analysis. It's just an example, right? But part of having a system is having a checklist of the things that you are going to do or the things you are going to look for. And they must be the same every single time, before you execute a trade or before you identify a trade. Okay. So in this example with top down analysis, I sent some of this analysis of GBP AUD in the group, and I also sent this Musa sent the result basically of the signal, and the trade is actually still running. It's still technically running, although I exited in profits from my position on this particular trade, because because of my system. I know what's supposed to happen in the market, and I know when I'm expected, when I can expect to get another opportunity on this particular pair. So for example, here we have the GBP AUD. You're looking at this on a monthly basis, right? Now, guys, here's the thing about Forex. A lot of the stuff that I've been teaching on the free YouTube channel, I've got a free YouTube channel, I'll send a link. A lot of the stuff I've been teaching there is some of the ABCs, like some of the stuff, to be fair, I shouldn't be teaching. I shouldn't be teaching this stuff. Some of the stuff, like, certain things like, which trading software to use, if someone asks you, what is a pattern, what is a head and shoulders pattern, for example, what is a pin bar, guys, those things are ABCs. Those are the ABCs of trading. Please do yourself a favor and do research, because when people like me and people like my mentor, when we share these things, a lot of this knowledge is very useful, but most of this knowledge will not be useful to most people because they are not taking the time to do their own homework. They want to be spoon fed, you know, they want to be spoon fed the knowledge. And even if we do spoon feed you the knowledge, it won't benefit you because you need to put this stuff into practice, right? So for example, let's make an example of top-down analysis. Like here we have the GBP AUD on a monthly basis. So have like just to make an example, what you would do if you had a system, right, is that you would look for certain criteria. Like for example, doing top-down analysis and doing your fundamental and technical analysis. With top-down analysis, it's simply looking at the time frame, at the particular asset that you're going to trade, whether it's a currency, commodity, stock, CFD, or whatever it might be that you're going to trade. You look at the stock and you look at it from a top-down perspective. You look at it at a higher time frame. Right here on my left, on the left side of my screen, where you see those pop-ups there, that's the time frames. For those who don't know, that stuff you should know, but I'm just gonna mention it. Those are the time frames. So the one at the very bottom is the monthly time frame. That's the one I clicked on, and then it's the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour. H4 is 4 hour. H1 is 1 hour. M30 is 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, etc. So basically, in this example that I'm making, we would be looking at the GBP odd on a monthly time frame, and what we see on a monthly time frame, for those who have trained eyes, right, what we see is that it comes from this area, which was, you know, a pretty significant high, right, and price tried to trade towards that high, right, and in fact it used the low of this area. You know, now that's something you're gonna have to go and test for yourself, but in any case, and it went down, it reversed, right? So already you can take something like that, like for example the fact that price went up and then it went down, and then in future this low, one of these lows in this area, was used on our monthly time frame, right? On a macro scale, we would have known that the GBP AUD should be bearish, depending on the nature of the candlesticks, right? Now, candlesticks are something you have to study on your own. I will send a book also in the group. Uh, this is a book. I'm not the author of the book, but this is a book that helped me a lot in my early journey in trading, in understanding the context of how I should think as a trader, of how I should think about trading, and not have misconceptions, you know, and come in pretty much getting blindsided. So I'm just showing you a few examples. So in a monthly time frame, you would use your monthly to get an idea where price, you know, might be going, or where price might be rejecting, right? And then what you would do is you would go down on smaller time frames. You would go down on smaller time frames and you would look at the nature of the candlesticks and how they close, and you would watch the behavior of the market from certain points of interest. Now, identifying those points of interests is more homework for you guys. That's some homework you have to do on your own. Now, don't just take the first thing you see on the internet, you know, whether it's a pattern or an indicator or whatever it might be, and base your trading journey purely on that. And that's the mistake that most people do. They look at one or two things on the internet and they base their whole entire trading journey on that. That's the same mistake I made. When I started my trading journey, you know, I was researching indicators. I knew each and every single indicator, how they worked and all that stuff. And I wasn't producing the results that I wanted, right? And what did I do? I got a mentor, right? I got a mentor who taught me, he showed me my mistakes, showed me some of the things I wasn't looking at, even though I thought I was good at trading. You know, he started showing me the things that I wasn't aware of necessarily, right? And, you know, that helped a lot in the trading journey. Understanding that basically whatever you think you know, trust me, you don't, right? So what you need to do is you should always be pursuing knowledge, reading books, watching videos on YouTube, you know, finding the best possible you know, teachers, whether it's on YouTube or someone you know, whatever the case might be, and studying, and not only just watching, binge watching like it's Netflix. No, you go and test those things. Whatever is said, you go and test it, and you see how it fits into your trading style, right? So that's just one part of, you know, of systematic trading. And part of any system, to be honest, is fundamental and technical analysis, right? Fundamental analysis and technical analysis. Those are part of any system, guys. Whether you're trading, whether you're investing, it's part of any system that you do your technical analysis. That because the whole point, right, of trading is that we want to buy. When we buy and price goes up, we in profit, right? We make money. But let's say we buy here and price goes down, we lose money. But in this instance, price went up, right? And another thing I wanna highlight is that certain things in trading, like certain things you might think are not that important to learn or that important to master, believe me, you need precision in trading. You need absolute precision. You need to understand that it's big money firms and it's banks that are running the markets, that are moving the markets. And they will not, you know, let the markets move in any dumb, silly way, that everyone can benefit. No. There needs to be a degree of difficulty. There needs to be a level of difficulty in trading in order to manipulate traders out of their positions, right? Even if your technical analysis is correct, even if your fundamental analysis is correct, the market will still go for your position, and you need to know how to manage that. And that comes with months of study, guys. It comes with months of study, and it takes the right type of person to be able to teach you that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not advocating and saying I'm the right person, whatever. This is just free information. Please take this information and go test it for yourself. Go and study. If you've identified a mentor, now you know what is expected from you and from your mentor, right? You need to have a system. You need to build a system, right? And that's just basic, guys. Some of you guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this, right? But some of you might not know this. And for me, in my very earliest parts of my trading, some of these things, some of what I'm telling you, basically, was very important for my trading journey. Because as much as, even if I tell you now, even as I'm telling you now that you need a system to trade, it's not making sense to most of you. I can guarantee that. And even if you think it makes sense, please show me a system. If you can explain your system to me in one paragraph, less than three or less sentences, then I'll believe you. Then I'll believe that you have a system. But if you cannot explain to me what criteria you look for, it must be brief, it must be concise, and it must be quick. If you can't tell me that, then unfortunately you haven't built a system yet, and unfortunately you might not be aware that you need a system, right? Every trader, every financial, system has a system, right? That it runs with. And basically, this is based on the fact that, when money is moved, around the market, it's moved from one country to another, and basically it's billions and trillions of dollars that are moved around. And this needs to happen in a clear and concise way. It has to happen in a clear way, and it has to happen in a certain way to not show the hand of, as much as they can. But for those who have experienced eyes, they can see the footprint of the bank. Now, that stuff that's not taught by your traditional forex traders. The fact that banks trade a certain way and retail investors trade a certain way. Now, why is that? This is the reason. Because banks don't just hire anyone to come and start trading. You need to go through, certain criteria, and once you go through that certain criteria, banks and investment firms and money firms, whatever, once you go through that certain criteria, then you need to learn their system. You need to learn, either the firm system or the bank system and how they trade, right? And there's a lot of different systems. There's probably hundreds of different systems and different strategies in trading. Now, I don't want you to get it twisted. There's a difference between a system, and there's difference between a system, and there's difference between a strategy, right? There's difference between those two. You can have a system, and within the system, you can have different strategies on how to execute that system, right? But then a strategy, relies